Ruler quilting is for everyone, whether you're a home domestic machine quilter or a long arm quilter on a frame or a sit-down table. This is the final part of the 5-star Rulerwork quilt along. We're going to add some free motion quilting to some of our straight line frames. This is optional. I recommend you do it because you get the effect of what it looks like to add free motion around quilted straight lines. We're going to put in loops, and you can decide to put it in 2 or 3 of the sections or just 1. Make the quilt your own. You can stitch it the way I will stitch it, or you can stitch it any way you like. And if you don't know how to stitch loops, you can also add stippling like we did in the center star. Let's stitch some free motion loops. Now, in this area, it's kind of tiny, it's tight. So if you can't stitch that small, start your first loop where you have a little bit more space. There are no hard and fast rules with this. Do what works for you. Try it, you like it, then keep doing it. We're going to do loops that are relatively consistent in shape and size. If you haven't stitched loops in a while, I recommend practicing. And that way you can have some consistency in your shapes and sizes. We're going to repeat the loops several times. I decided to repeat it twice in each area of the dark red triangles, which means I'll be stitching loops 8 times, 8 different sections. You decide how many sections you want to stitch. Now I'm moving from the bottom or base of the triangle to the upper section. This section is a little tricky. The point in the center of the triangle is where I want to place a loop right in the center. I don't want the space between loops to be at that peak. I want a loop to be at the peak. Hopefully you'll understand what I mean once we get there. But as I'm stitching up toward that peak, I'm paying attention to the distance between my loops and making sure that they're relatively even in terms of size, but also spacing, and that my spacing is going to allow me to bring a loop right in the center. Like right here is like where I want the loop to be in the center. All right. Hopefully you see what I mean. So now I'm stitching the other side. Now we could technically start right there in the center and then work our way to the end and then come back, break thread, and then come back and fill the space. My spacing isn't that good on this one, which I knew it probably wouldn't be because it's my first time stitching it, and I'm okay with that. I just know to pay attention the next time and change my spacing just a little bit as I approach that peak. So I think the second one was improved. Let's watch. Honestly though, I do get a little nervous when I know that I want something to look a certain way and it's dependent upon my ability to space the design correctly as I stitch. So this is where I would think, well, do I stitch a small one or do I just bring in a bigger loop? All right, do I try and squeeze in another small one or just go for the big loop? I went for the big loop. Now, if yours doesn't land the way you want it, don't worry. Remember, this is practice. Wonderful, we did it. We have finished the 5-star Rulerwork Quilt-Along quilt. What a journey. I hope this has been fun for you, but also you have learned some new ruler quilting techniques. I can't wait to see your 5-star quilt. Join me at the next Quilt Conversations Live, where we will have a 5-star quilt parade. I look forward to sharing your quilt with the community. See you soon. I'm Geraldine Wilkins, the Living Water Quilter. I help quilters go from frustration to fabulous with 2 techniques, free motion quilting and acrylic ruler quilting. And I am excited to share this new acrylic ruler with you. It is an essential ruler to help you master straight line quilting, whether it's straight line with a straight edge or straight lines with the channel, which is fantastic for stitching in the ditch. But that's not all it can do. It can do a whole lot more, and I'm going to show you.